Because nothing happens by coincidence, luck, or happenstance. Hey, you caught me. We are live. We are live. Welcome to All Things Self Mastery Podcast. I am your host and I am your educator, self mastery mentor, Venus, a goddess. And I've been teaching for the better part of 15 plus years, and I have helped well, hundreds of people, I would say, for the better part of 15 plus years, help them to get into energetic alignment to teach them the philosophies and concepts in which they need to master their reality. And so before we get started, um we're going to be getting started after this brief commercial. In so many different ways. We are back. Welcome, welcome. For those of you who are just joining me, we are going to be discussing, I'm going to be giving you some imperative information that you need as far as breaking emotional addictions. Now, if I was to ask a lot of you a question, right? Now, before we get into it, let me just say, I feed off of your energy partly. So when you engage with me, that good energy, we keep it flowing. So make sure you engage. Put If you have any questions, share your perspectives. This is how we elevate. This is how we grow. United, right? This just doesn't work one way, right? This is I don't want this to be a dictatorship. Right. I want this to be a dialogue between you and I. So make sure you come in, make sure you are following me, make sure you are subscribing. It's free. Help me to grow this platform and definitely engage. It don't cost you nothing to tap the screen to participate. It don't cost you nothing to send some likes. So welcome in YouTube family, welcome in Facebook family, and of course my TikTok family, which I spend the most time with you all. No shade. I love you. I love you. No such thing as coincidence. Ashe, Glenda. You're absolutely right. So if you're here, your purpose to be here. If you're here because not only did you position yourself to be here, right? There's a whole there's loads of other entities and energies, right? That you are in alignment right now. So congratulations to you. Congratulations to you for taking the time to be where you need to be. Congratulations to you for getting yourself into alignment. And just like that word love is an affirmative word, it's an active word. In order for you to position yourself into alignment, guess what? You need to be active. You need to actually position yourself into alignment. So for those of you who do not know, especially on my TikTok. I actually, whenever I do lives and I teach self mastery lessons, I actually put together presentations that I spend countless of hours putting together for you. Subliminal messages are important. Subliminal messages, not only hearing audibly, but also learning visually, helps to reprogram your mental database. It helps to enforce the messages and the languages and all the things that you need to continually put you into alignment. So when we're talking about breaking emotional addictions, if I was to ask you, now this is where you engage, this is where you interact. If I was to ask you, are you addicted to emotions? How many of you honestly would say no? If I was to say you have emotional addictions, how many of you will automatically say yes? How many of your thoughts would go to immediately will go immediately to saying no? How many of you, right? How many of you say what does that mean? Emotional addictions, right? And we're going to get, without getting too far into the lesson, right? How many of you are addicted? Think of addiction, right? When we hear of addiction, most times we're thinking about narcotics. Most times we're thinking about being addicted to alcohol or some form of drugs. Most time we're thinking about, when you hear addictions, that's what our mind comes up with. That's what we think about. So when I ask the question, right, are you emotionally addicted? Or do you have emotional addictions? A lot of you would say no, right? But it's so further from the truth. 99.9% of us have emotional addictions, right? And so, how can you reverse? How can you fight? How can you battle your addiction to a specific emotion if you first don't really understand what emotions actually is? Michael says, or Michelle, pardon me, love. I'm debating if I should use right now. Oh, that's I hope it's use a certain emotion right now that you're speaking about. Thank you so much for the follow. I see it, right? So when we're talking about thank you so much. I appreciate you sincerely, infinite gratitude, right? These things are important for us to know. So breaking emotional addictions when it comes to attracting peace, Mustafa. How are you? When it comes to us get into alignment, when we speak about finding my person, we're having not even that we're having so many conversations regarding romantic relationships, how to tap into your divine femininity, how to attract the man, how to get the man, how to finesse the man, how to attract the woman, how to get the woman, how to finesse the woman, right? How to live a soft life, how to tap into or balance out masculine energy, feminine energy. We're discussing so much information. We're discussing so many things. We're consuming so much information that is misguided. I'm telling you. And if you think it is not affecting you in many ways, it is. So there's a lot of us who actually want to connect with our person, right? There's a lot of us who want to find our soulmate, our soul partner, husbands, wives. There's a lot of us who want to build healthy relationships with people, not only in a romantic sense. There's a lot of us who want to make more money. There's a lot of us who want to experience the world and travel. There's a lot of us who want children. There's a lot of us who want to become better at whatever it is, right? And the question is always that I pose to my mentees, those who I coach on a personal level, right? Is do you understand the core and the catalyst reasons as to the why you're not attracting the what and the who you desire? And these are the things that I talk about in detail in my latest book that I published, Attracting What and Who You Desire. If you do not know the why, the how becomes obsolete. How are you going to fight something if you're unaware? How are you going to combat something if you're unaware? How are you going to align yourself with something that you're not aware that needs alignment? How are you going to fight something you cannot see? Michelle says, I have it, but I'm struggling with the fall. Many of us are struggling in many ways, right? And one thing we cannot do is continually expect that we're going to fast track, right? We're going to fast track what we want, right? We're just going to automatically get there. That's not how it works. How many times you're going to ask the same questions over and over again with no resolve, with no results? How many times are you going to keep entertaining the same conversations with no resolve, no results? How many times are you going to keep consuming information just for the hell of it, just for the sake of it? So when it comes to you putting yourself when it comes to prioritizing your life, where's the prioritizing? Where are you on your priority list? I ask this question all the time. That's called insanity. Yes, that is definitely called Yoko Way. How are you? Thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate you, right? When is enough going to be enough? Like, don't you deserve whatever it is you want? Don't you deserve to become whoever it is you want to become? Don't you deserve to take trips around the world if that's your desire? Don't you deserve to have a beautiful partnership, even in a romantic way with someone? Don't you deserve to forge healthy relationships? Don't you deserve all of the things that you want, need, and or desire? Don't you deserve to be in a career or a job where you're not miserable more than half of the time that you spend at your jobs? Don't you deserve not to be angry more than you more than what's necessary? Don't you understand these things? A lot of these things has everything to do with addictions that you are with emotions that you are addicted to. So there's a lot of conversations, right? There's a lot of conversations about EI or EQ, right? Emotional intelligence. Understanding fundamental philosophies and concepts about these things that have everything to do with you is the key, right? Because they have emotional intelligence is not only controlling your feelings. It's not only controlling your feelings. You have to get to the core of why you're feeling what you're feeling and then learn what the cord, the connector is is attached to it, right? So when it comes to understanding emotions and then realizing that many of us are addicted to so many emotions we're not even aware of. So a little bit about me for those of you who do not know. I'm a self-mastery mentor. I've been teaching and coaching for 15 plus years. Right, I have studied and researched and engaged. Right, I'm a student first and foremost. I've studied and still am studying psychology and chemistry and different types of sciences and physics and energy and neurodynamic dynamics. Right, I am an entrepreneur at heart. I am also a veteran. I served 5 years in the military, 12 months overseas in Afghanistan, right? I've studied in college business management. And I don't usually speak of those type of credentials because I am a firm Noah and it does not require a stamp from Eurocentric centered schools of philosophy, because if you know, you know, we are the originators of intelligence. We are the originators of all philosophies and concepts when it comes to astrology, science, astronomy, physics, when it comes to psychology, when it comes to energy, when it comes to forces, when it comes to universal laws and principles, especially when you understand that you are a university within itself. You are a profound university within yourself. You embody trillions of years of divine sacred information right within you, in your DNA. You understand? So not only do I have external credentials, I also have internal credentials from me doing the work, and everything that I have learned thus far, I teach you, right? And so it is incredibly important, right? I come from a background of inspirational speakers, even though I don't really dwell. I haven't done a gig in quite some time. However, when I tell you this is my lane, this is my lane. I am qualified in so many areas to teach self mastery and all things that fall under that umbrella, be it mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and financially. Not that I am a master per se in showing you how to obtain money, but in the with the principles that everything is energy, everything is a force, everything is frequency, right? And I understand frequency, I understand energy, I understand those things, so I'm able to teach you how to position yourself to start drawing to you whatever it is that you want. Tony, thank you so much for the follow, right? So who is this class going to be for? Breaking emotional addictions. Who is this class for? This class is for you. This class is for me. Whether you need a reminder, whether you need the information, whether you never heard the information, if you are serious about elevating, if you are serious about mastering self, even if you do not yet understand fully what that means, if you are serious about reprioritizing where you fall on your list, if you are finally ready to put you first, if you're finally ready to take one step after the other in a forward up spiraling direction to finally bring all of your wants, needs, and desires to fruition, this class is for you. Those of you who seek to change the trajectory of your life, this class is for you. Those who desire to forge and cultivate healthy relationships, with the very most important relationship being with yourself. Too many of us have knowingly or unknowingly, unhealthy relationships with ourselves, and you wonder why you're not connecting with certain people in your life. You can only draw to you that which is magnetized within you, right? So it begs for you to do some self introspection and ask, what do I need to pay attention to within me? Because obviously something is disturbed, because I keep attracting men or women that is not helping me evolve, that is crippling me and enabling my poor unhealthy behavior. So this class is for those who are tired of repeating unhealthy behavior patterns. I'm going to say that again because some of us don't actually get it. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. If you are joining me in my with my youth on my YouTube, make sure you say hey. It don't help. Make sure you just even if you're here for a second, please support the live. Just give a little taps, give a little hugs, give a little love, okay? And definitely subscribe and support. It's absolutely free. So I'm going to repeat that one. Those who are tired of repeating unhealthy behavioral patterns. You know how many people I'm hearing, especially because so many people are just inviting everybody into their bathroom. Everybody's invited to the party. Everybody is not everybody, but there's a lot of people who are just telling on themselves. There's so many people that are speaking that, oh, I don't even like my life. I don't like where I'm at. I don't like my husband. I don't like my wife. I'm miserable. I'm miserable. I'm miserable. I'm overwhelmed and I'm depressed. And they're speaking of all of their poor behaviors, unknowingly feeding it. Aren't you tired of repeating the same behaviors? What person in their right righteous mind wants to keep running on the hamster wheel, wants to keep going around and around and around and around and around? And as soon as someone say, "Hey, that's an effect of insanity. That's a byproduct of insanity." Why would you want to willingly be on the same level? Why would you willingly want to repeat the same grade? Why would you want to keep repeating the same grade in life? What do you think that's going to happen if you don't change your ways? What do you think that's going to happen if you don't acquire the necessary information that you need? This is what's going to happen. You're going to continually, unknowingly keep feeding what you no longer want to feed. So there's a plethora of benefits that you're going to be getting. Understanding the core of remote emotions, which are important, because if you do not understand the core of emotions, right? And I want you all to keep an open mind, keep an open heart. There are some things that I say that your mind is not going to automatically reject or repel. And there's some things that I'm going to say in which you like, that makes sense. Keep an open mind, because obviously some things need to change. And I'm here to help you do that. Daughter of Zion, how are you? Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it, right? So we're going to be getting into how unresolved past traumas become your addictions. A lot of us suffer from this and we don't know. And we're going to be talking about how they affect you, right? How they affect you and how they are affecting you from attracting what and who you desire. We're going to be going over some positive and negative emotions, what they are, as a reminder, right? How unhealed emotions keep you reliving your past. None of you are insane, and none of you were purposed to be here to endure such immense pressures of life. Life is not supposed to be a plethora of challenges. Life is, you were not purposed to be overwhelmed all the time. You were not purposed to be here to experience hell all the time. You wasn't here. You're not purposed to be here to suffer and suffer and suffer. And I know, contrary to what I'm saying, there are right religions that will say you need to suffer in a sense, because there can't be no joy without suffering. But you're not supposed to be in a state, a long, a prolonged state of suffering. That's not what it is. And a lot of us are bringing these things onto ourselves. Which are you? Because if you're not mastering, you're being mastered. I'm going to say that again. If you're not mastering, you're being mastered. And we're going to be talking about how to break these things. So remember, engage. Engage, engage. How do you interpret emotions? What is the core of emotions? This is the question, and it's not what a lot of you are thinking. It is not. So let me remind you or inform you. Emotions, energy and motions are the electrical charges formed into memories of your past, of your past recorded, that are recorded in your brain. This is what emotions are. Emotions are, you have to move past just thinking that emotions are anger, emotions is love, emotions is frustration, emotions are joy, emotions are bliss, emotion is all of the things that you can feel via your stimuli, beyond your five senses, right? What do I mean by emotions are electrical charges? What are these electrical charges? Your thoughts. Your thoughts are predicting and enabling your actions. What you think, what you speak, right? The conversations you're having, the places you are visiting, the environments that you are in. Neurotransmitters, a lot of your neurotransmitters are weak. Do you understand? A lot of your neurotransmitters aren't firing because you're living your life predicated upon your past and you do not even realize it. No matter what you say, no matter what you think, no matter what you do, whether you know it or don't know it, whether you're aware or unaware, whether you accept it or reject it, no one is excluded from experiencing the effects of universal principles and laws. And one of those is the law of cause and effect. You cannot experience the effects differently from what you are causing. And so when we are wanting to attract what and who we desire, understanding to a deeper degree in which you currently understand is understanding what the core of emotions is, understanding the inner workings, understanding what they actually are, because they are affecting you minute by minute. They are affecting you week by week, month after month, year after year, and you consuming misguided information from uneducated individuals who appear to be intelligent is hurting you in so many different ways. What you don't know will hurt you. What are neurotransmitters? And I'm not saying that you need to be a philosopher in all of these things, but how in the world do you expect to evolve or to understand something or to reach something if you don't know what the hell it is or what you're doing? Vera, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am Coach. How are you, love? Real easy. What's good, love? I was just reading about this earlier. Yes, it's important. Your emotions, not only understanding emotions, however, not understanding the core of what emotions is, what energy and motion is. Fundamentally, is hurting you in so many different ways. So when you're wondering why you are not finding your person in life, when you're wondering why you keep having failed relationship after failed relationship, when you're wondering why things are not happening the way you want them in your life, when you're wondering why you're high one minute, you low the next, your life is ping ponging. 1 minute you up, 1 minute you down, 1 minute you happy, 1 minute you sad. 1 minute you got it, 1 minute you don't. And it's like this ping pong effect, right? It's back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. Let me tell you something. That is an unhealthy byproduct of your lack of understanding in certain things. So, like I said, you don't have to be a philosopher in all the sciences. You don't have to be a philosopher in all the concepts. However, you do need to learn the fundamental principles of these things because they're affecting you in so many different ways. So, when it comes to you realizing that, why am I not pulling in or drawing in the type of money that I want to pull in? Why are you not pulling in or experiencing new experiences? Why are you not traveling as much as you want to travel? Why are you so not in control as much as you want to be in control? Why are you not experiencing what you truly want to experience? Better yet, why are you still lying to yourself? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? What you don't know is hurting you. And every time you make a decision to pass by lives like this, whenever you make a decision to go entertain foolishness more than you entertain information that's going to elevate you, guess what? You keep down spiraling. You keep running on that hamster wheel. Meanwhile, you think it's a joke. You think it's a game. Do you not think that your number going to be called at some point? Your soul and your spirit is infinite. Ashe, right? Infinite. However, this avatar that we're living in, this body, this vehicle, baby, it has a completion date. Why wouldn't you want to position yourself to attract what and who you desire? And one of the answers out of the many answers that is personal to you is that you really don't think and know that you deserve to. Let me say that again. One of the core reasons why you're not attracting what you need and want and or desire is because you inwardly don't know and believe that you deserve whatever it is you want, need, and or desire. Right? Another reason is you don't have the information yet that you need. Right? Ashe, thank you so much for the gifts. I sincerely appreciate it. Right? We have to understand this. Why would you willingly want to continually run backwards and not forward? Why do you want to keep playing games with your life? Entertainment is beautiful. It's fun. Having a blissful life is fun. Being able to laugh, being able to experience, being able to be joyful, being able to entertain certain things, it's okay. But when you're spending 4, 5, 6 hours entertaining and consuming garbage and bullshit just so it can appease your insecurities, just so it can make you feel happy in the moment, you are addicted to the emotions and you don't even realize it. Why do you keep running to toxic people? Why do you keep allowing toxic people in places and things in your life? Why do you keep engaging and inviting certain environments into your life, into your universe? Why do you keep jumping on panels or listening to panels to people that are unwise, unintelligent, uneducated, and that are going nowhere fast? Why? Yes, 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 Vera. Help is here. But it's up to you. I operate in the principle of flow, not force. I will not force you. It's you. I'm a self mastery mentor. I will definitely, willingly walk with you, run with you sometimes. But I can't cross them finish lines with you. You have to do that for yourself. You have to want it. And it all requires you taking one step after the other forward instead of backwards. You wondering why? So when I say breaking emotional addictions, some of you are tapping and slapping your veins. For those of you who understand what I'm saying, okay? Some of you itching, some of you scratching, some of you shaking for the negativity. Some of you shaking and tapping and slapping for your next fix of stupidity. For your next time for you to shine in ignorance. Some of you are slapping your veins, right? Some of you are slapping your veins to be angry. Some of you are slapping your veins for the moment where you get to display and verbalize your contempt for life and for other people. Some of you are slapping your veins because you're waiting for the next person to come into your life to validate every insecurity that you have. Some of you are slapping your veins waiting for the next man or woman that's going to come into your life and mistreat you. And you don't even know it. So when I talk about breaking emotional addictions, yes, baby. You're addicted to certain emotions, certain chemicals, right? unknowingly that keeps you craving and yearning for these things. Emotions are energy in motion. Some of you are scratching and itching, just waiting to be tagged in the ring, right? To speak about your stupidity. And I'm not saying this as a dig. Some of you are itching, scratching, and tapping your veins for that needle for you to what? Drag another brother or sister, shame another brother or sister, because that you need. You crave to make others feel bad so you can feel good about what you lack and your insecurities. That's toxic. That's unhealthy. Those are addictions. Some of you are slapping your veins for your next sexual excursion. I need it. I need it. I just gotta have it. I just need it. And you don't even know. You don't even realize the detriment that you're putting yourself in. You don't even realize how you're enforcing that addiction. Some of you are looking and yearning and craving for the next dysfunctional dilemma, for the next tragedy, and you wondering why they coming on auto repeat, right? You wondering why these situations is coming on auto repeat. How many times we hear us say, why every time I take 2 steps forward it's like taking 10 steps backwards? Breaking emotional addictions. This is what we are talking about. You have to gain a deeper understanding. There are so many people who are misguiding you and misleading you because they are not educated to do so. So I encourage you, don't even take my word for it. Excuse me, even though I speak and teach with confidence in righteousness and in purity, because I'm not after your money, I'm not after your bag. Everything you do echoes through the universe. Every decision you make, no matter minute or grand, affects the oneness. It affects us collectively. So if you think you are not responsible for what's going on in the world, if you think that you are not partly responsible for what's going on in the universe, if you think that you are not co-responsible, partly responsible for what's going on in today's society, in this world, baby, do a double check. You're playing your part. Everything you do affects someone else in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So when we talk about, oh, we holding people accountable, right? We holding people responsible now. Well, that starts with you. That also starts and continues with you. So when we're talking about breaking emotional addictions, you need to understand that emotions are energy in motion, motion. Hence, you can see the word, right? What it is within the word. That's not by happenstance or coincidence. Words are not formed just to be formed. There's a deep logic in the words that we use. Understand? Mind altering information. Thank you so much, Vera. I appreciate you. So one of the things you need to know when it comes to emotions, in order to break the emotions, right? There are six major chemicals that are influencing your everyday thoughts, your everyday behaviors, your everyday influences. One, dopamine. This is your reward system. And it can, and keep in mind that these chemicals can be overactive or underactive. They can be in an abundance or you can lack them. Dis-ease come from dysfunction. Oh, dis-ease comes from emotional chemical imbalance within the body and the mind. Dopamine, this is your reward system. This is the transmitter. This is the chemical that engages with your brain when you're receiving pleasure. So when I talk about addiction, some of us are addicted to dopamine. Some of us are addicted to pleasure. It's pleasure. It's pleasure. You need to be stimulated sexually, mentally. So all of these cute words that we use. Oh, I'm a sapiosexual. I'm an asexual, and all of these damn sexual types. I'm a sexual, cute, so whatever it is. That can also be an addiction. You can be addicted to dopamine. So if you find yourself keep craving certain things that bring you pleasure at your detriment, that is not healthy, guess what? You're addicted to it. And the key is harmonizing it. Serotonin. Serotonin influences your mood. It promotes feelings of well-being and happiness. Now, for what I say, what I say, if I want to, if I had to choose which chemical to be addicted to, baby, it's gonna be serotonin all day. If I had to choose. However, everything needs balance. Everything needs harmony because too much of anything can be harmful for you. Balance. You understand? But serotonin, you can also be addicted to that emotion. Oxytocin. This neurotransmitter is your love hormone. Some of y'all are so addicted and so infatuated with love. You just got to have it. You got to be in love. And you will sacrifice your morals, values, your righteousness, your spiritual elevation. You'll sacrifice your money. You'll sacrifice your self-esteem. You'll sacrifice your happiness. You'll sacrifice your confidence. Also, you can hear somebody say, I love you, and not show it. Also, you can falsify the experience of what genuine pure love is because you're so addicted and infatuated with this thing called love, especially when it is not attached to the action, right? Endorphins. When your body feels pain or stress, how many of us don't even realize that we're addicted to endorphins? You constantly putting yourself in situations that are going to cause you pain. You're constantly inviting people that have clear signs on their head that says, hey, I'm toxic. Hey, I'm going to abuse you. Hey, I'm not worthy. Hey, I lack confidence. Hey, I lack self-esteem. They got these flags written all across their forehead and all over their body. And what you do? Come on. I need it. I need it. Okay? Just spend a little bit of time with me. Just come into my life, right? Adrenaline. Pardon me, many of us know this. This is the neurotransmitter that is responsible for your fight or flight. Some of y'all are constantly thinking a bear is chasing you or the boogeyman is chasing you, and there's no bear in sight. There's no boogeyman under your bed, but you constantly have to be in that fight or flight. You constantly have to have that adrenaline pumping. You constantly have to be on that skyscraper. You constantly have to bungee jump off of the edge just so you can feel a thrill of being alive. That's unhealthy. And that is also an emotional addiction. Fight or flight. That is in a dysfunction. Ooh, watch your mouth, Venus. Dysfunctional. That's a thing too. A lot of us. That's a new one. That's a new one. Dysfunctional. I like that one. Oh, let me watch my mouth for TikTok acne. Oh, stigmatized and it's functional. Okay, but a lot of us we thrive. We addicted to that fight or flight. It's hustle and bustle. You wait till the last minute to do things. And you say, oh, I work better, right? In the fourth quarter. I work better when I'm under pressure. That is an addiction. It is an unhealthy addiction. That is not healthy. But you've normalized it and it is normal to you because you do not understand what it is, and you do not understand how it's causing you to continually down spiral, constantly being in that fight or flight, and you don't even know what you're saying. Oh, I love the fourth quarter. It's grind, it's hustle. Oh, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. And you in 10, 15 other different places at the same damn time, mastering too many things when you can't even master one. That's unhealthy, my loves. That is unhealthy. Got to get that rush. Yes, Karen. It's like the rush, the rush. That's not healthy. It's dysfunctional. It's dysfunctional. Cortisol. One of the most dangerous neurotransmitters, one of the most dangerous chemicals is cortisol. These are the hormones that are responsible for danger. Some of y'all love living on the edge. Some of y'all are addicted to that rush. It just gotta be that you're living on the edge. That's an addiction, to always want to be in danger, constantly putting yourself in danger. That's an unhealthy addiction. It is, no matter how you slice it. Your body was never meant to undergo or experience such immense pressures. Your body breaks down, your mind breaks down. When you are fluttered with too much cortisol or adrenaline, guess what's happening? You are weakening your aura field. You are making yourself, peace, Kev, how are you, my love? You are making yourself more susceptible to be inhabited or taken advantage of by other entities, other people and places. You become an easy target. Everything that comes at you penetrates you because your mind is in a weakened state. Your aura is in a weakened state. Your energy centers and chakras are either overactive or underactive. It weakens you mentally. It weakens you mentally. It weakens you spiritually. Vera, thank you so much for the subscription. Infinite gratitude. These things weaken you. Your force field is weak. And you constantly not doing what you need to do about it. It's not just doing something about it. Because that just doing anything about it, just doing something about it without being intentional, that's hurting you too. What you consume, you become. What you consume, you become. How do you think you're going to jump in a pool of water and come out dry? That baffles me every time I hear people. Oh, I can go to this club. I can go to that club. I can be around this person. I can continually put myself in these type of environments. What the hell do you think that's going to happen if you jump in a pool? You guess what? You're going to get wet. And a lot of you are jumping in toxic pools, head first, eyes closed, ears shut. And you're wondering why. We're still talking about breaking emotional addictions, right? Emotions. The natural instinctive state of mind deriving from your circumstances, your moods, and they are in connection to people, places, and things that you entertain. A lot of you are broken. A lot of you are overwhelmed. A lot of you are sad. A lot of you are in deep states of depression. A lot of you are so angry. A lot of you are smiling externally when you are crying internally. And it's sad to see. It's so sad to see because I can see the brokenness. I can see it through your lies. I can hear it. I can sense it. I can feel it. And it's sad because you don't have to be there. You don't. You do not have to keep experiencing all the hell you're experiencing. You don't have to stay in the basement. You don't have to. You don't have to stay alone and without. You don't have to be miserable. You don't have to be full of contempt and bitterness. You don't have to be any of those things. Pardon me. And the more you understand this, the more you can begin to change these things. Ashe, thank you so much for sharing it live. Let's continually tap the screen. I appreciate all of y'all for being here. I do. I sincerely do. Because when more of us get into position, when more of us care enough about ourselves, we will care about our brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, aunties and uncles, grandmas and grandpas. We can change the trajectory of this world, of this life. This world is not ugly. I'm so sick of hearing people say that. We live in a ugly world. This world is ugly. This world is full of negativity. This world is dot 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 pessimistic, 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 pessimistic. This world isn't ugly. This world is beautiful. Are there ugly people in this world? Absolutely. But guess what? Are you the victor or the victim? Do you not understand that you can make a huge impact? Do you not understand that you can change these things? Is it going to be quote unquote easy? Hell no, but what is? Your thoughts leads to your emotions leads to your feelings, and your feelings lead to your actions, and your actions create your reality. And there are so many of you who are not happy within the reality that you are living. Check the receipts and stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending that you are happy. Stop pretending that you are on this cloud. Stop pretending that you are elite. Stop pretending that you are high value, whatever high value means. Stop pretending that money solves all things. Stop pretending. Stop lying to yourself. Start being transparently honest with yourself. How else are you going to truly grow? Stop lying to yourself, saying you're intelligent or you wise or you have the information. If that's the case, baby, why are so many of us still not where we want to be? Not where we want to be, not where we desire to be. It's not enough to just keep hearing these terms, understand these terms, because there's so many of us who do not understand. Yet they're teaching you, they're misguiding you. And I don't have any sympathy for those who choose to follow stupidity. However, I do have empathy and compassion for impressionable minds that are being led astray. That's sick. And we have to hold ourselves accountable. If you see something, say something. If you hear something, say something. And if you don't know what you're talking about, hush your mouth. You know how many of y'all paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars on relationship coaches and femininity coaches and masculinity coaches, and now we got online dating, TikTok dating, Facebook dating. Everything is I need a mate. Everything is I need a man. Everything is I need a woman. Everything is I need the bag. Do you not understand? You chasing, hence heavy on the chase, is hurting you in so many ways. Do you really think these people really give a damn about you? Do you honestly think, how untapped are you to not be able to sense when someone is being unrighteously or unjustly manipulative for their self-serving needs? Just because someone has information does not mean they're intelligent. Just because someone has intellect does not mean that they're wise or they have good intentions. Right? You're bonding with people in such unhealthy ways because it gives you the fix that you need. Oh, she been broken like me. Let her shoot me up with more toxicity, with more contempt, with more bitterness. Let me listen to her. Let me just hand her my veins so she can just shoot me up with more disgust, with more envy, with more jealousy, with more encouragement to shame other people. Just shoot me up, why don't you? Right? How's that working out for you? Rhetorical question, but an important question for you to ask yourself, some self-reflection and introspection. How is that helping you? How is that working out for you? Spanish, thank you so much for the follow, my love. How is that working out for you? Come on, loves. We gotta want it. We gotta want it. We have to want it. And when you get to a point where you decide, I want it, as bad as I know I want it, I need it as bad as I know I need it, you'll start making one step in front of the other. It doesn't have to be a sprint. You don't have to rocket ship it. Be willing to take one step in front of the other. How do you think you're going to get into alignment if you do not position yourself? Being in alignment requires you positioning yourself, and positioning yourself requires you to have the information that you need to position yourself. Right? Pardon me. Let's continually. Ooh, Ashe. Y'all see that? 11.1. 11.1. Ashe. I received that. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Those of you who are here, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. May these spells, these righteous spells, go deep, deep, deep in your subconscious to encourage the behaviors, the new behaviors that you want to form. Ashe. You need new information. You cannot expect to start operating differently on the same mental programs. Your dominant mental program is what's influencing your behaviors. And in order to create a new behavior, guess what? You need new information. I want to read something to y'all that's incredibly important. This comes from one of my favorite mentors. He don't even know it, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's a neurophysicist, right? He studies quantum physics. A lot of the things that I study, psychology, quantum physics, like higher things, right? That has everything to do with you, right? And one of the things that is stated, right? For the most part, your brain is a product of the past. Your brain is a product of the past. It has been shaped and molded to become a living record of everything you've learned and experienced up to this point in your life. So if you're wondering why you keep reliving the same experiences, is because your dominant programs and all of your emotions, which are influencing your behaviors and your reality, is predicated upon past memories. You cannot form new neurotransmitters unless you reprogram the mental database, the old programming. This is a must. You cannot skip this. You can speak affirmations until you turn blue. You can visualize things until you turn blue, but it's not going to give you the spark that's needed to run the vehicle. It requires something of you. Learning from a neuroscientific standpoint is when neurons in your brain assemble, right, to form thousands of synaptic connections. And those connections then assemble into complex three-dimensional neurological networks. Think of learning as your brain is getting an upgrade. Some of y'all ain't elevating because you don't have an upgrade. You're still running on faulty old programming. A lot of us are not attracting what and who we desire, the relationship that you want, the love that you want, the money that you want, the trips that you want, the vacations that you want, the healthy relationships that you want, the experiences that you want, because you're still running on faulty programs. You're engaging in entertaining stupidity because you're still running on a faulty program. You're still slapping your veins for all of the nonsense. When you pay attention to knowledge or information, new information that is, and it makes sense to you, this interaction with the environment leaves biological impressions in your brain. Remember what I said in the beginning. You cannot jump and go swimming in the pool and get out thinking that you're going to be dry. You're not going to get wet. Everything that you consume, you become. What are you consuming? What are you consuming? What are you paying attention to? Where is your attention? When you experience something new, your senses write the story neurologically in your brain, and even more neurons come together to make even more enriched connections, upgrading your brain even further. What does that mean? In order to reverse old, unhealthy, toxic programs, right? You have to have a new program. Not only that, you have to understand that there's processes within processes. You have to understand how you work biologically, chemically, neurologically, physically, spiritually, mentally, right? You have to know how you work. Whenever you are in the process of learning mental reprogramming to change your behaviors, to form new behaviors, you have to understand one of the fundamental processes that's going to happen is that your body and mind is going to naturally reject it. And I know a lot of us are stuck in our ways, right? We don't want to train anymore. We don't want to be trained and we don't want to train. Your body and your mind is going to naturally reject it. However, when you have the fundamental understanding, the fundamental networking, the architecture of what I'm speaking of, you automatically know that, oh, I understand what's happening. I got to keep going. I got to keep pushing. I'm gonna give you an example that I always give. So, what is the first step? The first step, I would say, Karen, is investing in finding someone that can help you on your journey. This is one of the steps too. You have to require the information. And once you acquire the information, you have to be taught how to implement it. I'm going to give y'all an example of what I mean by creating new neurotransmitters and network. If you were a coffee drinker for 10 years and one day you decided that, hey, I don't want to drink coffee anymore because it's not healthy for me. I don't want to experience these jitters no more. I don't want to eat the sugar anymore. I don't like what it's doing to my body. I don't like that I'm so addicted to the coffee. So today I'm going to stop drinking coffee. The process and what's going to happen next is your body and mind is going to reject it. So it's going to drag you mentally and spiritually. You're going to develop all of the effects of what you're going to have headaches, you're going to have jitters, you're going to have shakes, you're going to go through a withdrawal process. But you have to fight through. Yes. Yes, Vera. That's the process that naturally is going to happen. Not only that, what do you think is going to happen when you gain the information, ready to apply the information? Guess what you think is going to happen? You're going to be tested, my loves. You're going to be tested. You're going to go to work and somebody going to be making coffee and your stimulus is going to go crazy. You're going to be walking down the street and see Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks. Your senses are going to go crazy. These are the things that you have to be taught. However, when you understand the processes, you're not so afraid. You're not so apt to just give up and throw it in and say, fuck it, I'm just going to have a coffee then. Fuck it, I'm just going to give in then. When you know what's happening, it's easy and simpler and smoother for you to transition, for you to keep pushing. However, stop thinking that you were put here to do it alone. You were never intended to live life alone. Infinite gratitude, my love. I appreciate you for the gift, right? That's first and foremost. And you need to understand this. Breaking emotional addictions. Your mental database is a collective of everything you have learned. So when you're constantly repeating the stories of your past, guess what's going to happen? You're going to keep reliving them. The stories you repeat are the stories you continually live. Let me say that again and make sure you give me credit when you use it. The stories you continually repeat are the stories you continually live. The stories you continually tell are the stories you continually live. How many times are you going to keep telling the story of how you were abused? I say this with with sincere regards. How many times are you going to keep telling the victim story? How many times are you going to keep telling your stories of how you've been brutalized? Horrible. Horrible. Some of y'all can't wait to join some of these toxic lives. Some arguing back and forth, cursing each other out back and forth, calling it that's going to reiterate or validate, right? Your toxic cravings, right? Slapping your veins, right? Some of us are so codependent, right? Be looking, scouring YouTube and Facebook and TikTok, right? Saving the notifications on who live I can go and who dragging somebody. Let me be, so you can just add your toxic 2 cents in it. So you can just add your foolishness in it because it makes you feel good. It gives you that fix that you wanna have. Some of y'all just can't wait to the next speed dating TikTok live or YouTube take the dating. Some of y'all can't wait to get in these relationship lives on, I'm finding my wife and finding my husband and let's date and relationship this and we got it. Some of y'all can't wait to get up there and get all cute, right? Get enrolled, get in act to tell all the lies that you're gonna tell. Yes, Vera. Oops. Can't wait. Y'all be waiting for it. Get dressed, dolled up, all to pretty up how broken, bruised, and lonely and desperate you really are. You would spend 4 hours on a dating show on social media, and you won't even invest 15 minutes into reading a book. You won't invest nearly as much time and money into self development. But you can spend not only 1 to 2 hours getting yourself pretty and dolled up, getting haircuts, and men, I'm talking to you too, because you do it too. Can't wait to go to your barber just so you can join Saturday or Friday night dating live. Not Saturday night dating live. Okay? So you can continually feed your urge of desperateness and loneliness. But you won't take 10 minutes to sit with yourself, but you won't meditate for 10 minutes about you doing the work. I done the work, I healed. When? We can literally see you on social media every day, all day. And it's not like you gathering research for a book you're writing. It's not like you doing anything constructive, right? Go to sleep on live, you wake up on live, you go to work on live, you're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner on live, you're tending to your children on live, you're abusing your children on live, you're lying on live, you're dating on live, you're showing your tails on live, showing legs on live, showing your butts on live, you're showing everything, you're telling everything on live. When do you have a moment to yourself? When are you doing the work? When are you doing the work? When? That's an addiction, my loves. That's a form of emotional addiction, my loves. I'm teaching this topic because it is imperative for you to know that you have emotional addictions. And if you do not, one, understand what emotions truly are, two, understand the catalyst of emotions, that they are chemicals and frequencies and energy and motion. Three, if you don't understand the catalyst to why you have such a strong emotional connection with whatever it is, nothing is ever going to change in the direction in which you want it to change. It is not only going, it's not going to change for the better, it's going to change for the worse. Okay? And this is what you need to understand. I'm breaking down the science to you. I'm giving you all types of tips, tools, tricks, right? And information that is accurate, indisputable, proven. And you can go look this up yourself and see that. Ashe, it is important. This is why we continually repeat unhealthy behavior patterns, because you don't know as much as you think you do. And you're also listening to people who don't know what they think they know. However, is it affecting you? Absolutely. Thank you so much for tapping the screen. Let's tap. Let's show the love. Let me see some. Let me see. I wish they was green hearts, right? Because green is the heart chakra color. Okay, green is the also the money color. Green, green, green. Let's tap, tap, tap. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I appreciate, because baby, when one grow, we grow. Okay, I am you, you are me, we are us. Together we are powerful. Divided we are powerless. We are one and a part of the infinite source of creation, oneness. Ashe, Karen, thank you so much. I see it. So let's tap, let's share. Make sure if you are not following me, please follow. Please support. Not follow. I don't like that word, but that's what it is. Support me, right? Join Masters of Self. Join the team. This is All Things Self Mastery Show podcast. I am Venus the Goddess. It is a pleasure to meet you and have you a part of Masters of Self community, right? So happy to have you here. I teach self mastery to put you in position, to show you how to get into position so you can attract what and who you desire. Every lesson that I teach is under the umbrella of master self, because when you come to age, when you come to maturity, that you're able to make, when you're able to make decisions on your own, you're going to do two things in this realm. You're either going to be mastered or learn to master. You're going to be mastered or learn to master. Okay? And in order for you to master, in order for you to cut the puppet strings of your masters, you need to understand this. You can even be mastered by your lower self. It applies to you. However, if you don't have the proper education and knowledge, and if you're not taught how to, nothing is really going to change. So when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to the addictions, how you associate with something is how you are going to reflect it. We're talking about your reality, we're talking about your behaviors. This is how you're going to react to it. How you associate with a thing, how you associate with a person, how you associate it, right? Your reality is predicated on what you reflect. And I want you to understand something. You do not reflect with these. You do not see with these. You have to understand how to separate. A part of mastery is also separating yourself from yourself, your higher self from your lower self, your physical self from your astral self. You don't see through these beautiful eyes, these beautiful energy centers. You see here. Sense, see, sense, and see, sense. You see with here. You see internally. Everything that happens externally first happens internally, right? And so if you do not ever understand or learn or invest in someone that can help you get there, to learn how your internal is working, how you're functioning, guess what? Things are not going to change. How you associate with a thing is how you're going to reflect it, right? Colors affect you, right? Food affects you. How do you have an association and a relationship to food, money, sex, culture, spirituality, work ethic, colors, nature, TV programs, people, relationships, religion, environment, health, music, learning, the arts. All of these things you have an association. All of these things have an emotional connection to it. How you think, how you love, how you embrace, how you perceive relationships, how you perceive love. Some people's perception of love is toxic because all they seen in and all they seen when dealing with love is toxicity. So if you was a child that was brought up in a household and you seen both of your guardians or your parents and one of them were being abused, right? And while you were witnessing the abuse, you also heard the love word thrown out. So now what's going to inevitably automatically happen is that you're going to grow up with an unhealthy association with love, because that's what you see. So whenever you see abuse, physical abuse or mental abuse or spiritual abuse or whatever type of abuse it is, because of the way you were programmed and associated with it, is going to be unhealthy. right? So some of us have an unhealthy perception of these things, and it's affecting our reality, right? So it's not as simple as saying to someone, love me this way, do this, do that. You should know this or you should know that, right? You know what you know. You know what you've learned and you behave accordingly. Perception, widening your perception can help you elevate in so many different ways. Your emotions are predicated upon how you perceive all of the things that you have association and attachments to, right? These things matter. What you gain power and what you starve will lose is power, whether you know it or not. Your future continually looks like your past because that's all you keep telling is of your past. You're gonna keep repeating your past because that's all that that is what your current dominant database is. It's all about your past. Your emotions is predicated upon your past experience, most of those. How do you create new emotions? How do you enforce the new emotions that you want to have? 80% of the time, guess what? You have to change the programming. You have to change the catalyst. You have to change the fuel. You have to change the connection to it. It don't happen any other way. It don't. So your present becomes more than your future becomes more of your predicted past because you're not living in the present because you haven't changed your past. And when I say change your past, I'm talking about your dominant mental programs. Are you paying attention? When is the last time you paid attention to your day-to-day routine? When is the last time? We're talking about assessment here. We're talking about reprioritizing your life. Negative emotions, unhealthy emotions versus positive emotions, right? As a reminder, as a reminder, positive and negative emotions. It affects your mind, it affects your body, it affects your energy, it affects your self-esteem, it affects your ability, it affects what and who you attract. It affects how you socially interact. It affects what you're attracted to, what you're not attracted to. It affects your heart chakra, which is your magnetism. It affects your signals, your neurotransmitters. It affects your messages, right? In another masterclass, I speak and teach you about brain and heart coherence. Your heart is a magnet. Your brain neurotransmitters are the signals, they are the messages. So every unknown, subconscious, mental, dominant message you send into the universe, guess what? You can send it there or you want to, positive or negative. What draws those things, those people to you, is whatever's being magnified in your heart. Okay? So if you unknowingly have contempt in your heart, if you unknowingly have anger in your heart, if you unknowingly have bitterness in your heart or loneliness in your heart, whatever is in your heart, if it's positive or negative, bliss, joy, peace, whatever it is, that's what's being magnetized, right? And if it's not, whatever it is, it's not strong enough, right? The stronger the magnet, the more you draw it into you, right? Your emotions affect your money. It affects your will, your drive, your performance, your self-esteem, your connections. Like I said, it even affects your loved ones. So when we talking about, oh, I love my loved ones, especially those who have children, how many of us have heard, yeah, I'll give a lung for mine, I'll give a kidney for mine, I'll KILL for, I'll do all of these things for mine. You'll do all of these things for yours. You'll fight somebody for yours. You'll kick, another towel and a kneecap for yours, right? You'll do all of these things for yours, for the love of your loved ones, right? How about live for your loved ones? How about invest in your self-development for your loved ones? How about change the trajectory and narrative of your overall well-being in life because of your loved ones? How about live for your loved ones? How about that? How about learn discipline for your loved ones? How about doing something different for your loved ones, right? How about doing that? Triggers, emotions. We've heard about those things, right? We speak about those things all the times. Remember, energy and motion, emotion, motion, energy and motion, energy and motion. That they didn't do that. The word is not spelt that way just for it to be spelt that way. Understand that. What's your motion looking like? Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. Where is your attention going? Where is your attention going? Where is your attention going? What are you feeding? What are you indirectly feeding, right? Where is your attention? What is your attention on? Your past? Is your attention on food? Is your attention on money? Is your attention on illnesses, news, pain, enemies? Is your attention heavily on your cell phones? Is your attention on emails, work, career? Where is your attention on your body image? Where is your attention on your environments, materialistic things, right? Where's your attention in a TV program, social media, co-working? Where is your attention going? Because that's where your energy is flowing and that's where your reality is growing. Are you aware of where you're investing so much of your energy? Are you aware? Remember, awareness is key, right? Remember, one who controls their emotions masters their energy. One who controls their emotions, their motion, is one who masters their energy. And you put yourself in a position to where you're not easily swayed or blown. It was in it was in a I think it was Mulan. Um in the movie Mulan. I love the messages, the subliminal powerful messages that are in certain movies and cartoons. And I think it came from Mulan, and the grandfather was having a conversation with someone. He was captured by the quote unquote enemy, and the enemy was being forceful and trying to make him, submit to his will and to his power. And the grandfather said, no matter how much the wind blows, no matter how hard the wind blows, the mountain will not bow to it. No matter how hard the wind blows, the mountain will not bow to it. Mwah. Peace, Omega. How you doing, fam? Right? Become the mountain. Self mastery is about fully accepting yourself, understanding all the things mentally, spiritually, not all the things, but as much as you need to understand in this season that you're in, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, energetically, understanding that you are the one that's in control, and no matter what happens, you're going to be immovable. You're going to remain steadfast, and you're going to be confident and knowing that you're in control. You say who you say, what you say, why you say, when you say, where. Mastering self, it requires something from you. You can only get a return on what you invest in. Your ROI is going to be determined by what you put into it. Oh, you in Vegas, Omega, trying to practice discipline. Woo! Listen, listen, have fun, enjoy yourself, enjoy your vacation, have fun, but use discipline. Yes. Yes, Vegas is an exciting place, right? Know that you are the moon, no matter how much the wind howls at the mountain, it will not bend, it will not break, it will stand fast, right? I want you all to keep that in mind. Be aware, acknowledge, fully accept, be accountable, truly accountable by being transparently honest with yourself. Constantly reassess where you are. Constantly reassess where you are, right? Acquire the information that you need to acquire. Learn how to apply it, right? And a lot of things that I teach, if you are interested, my last ebook, I am also a best-selling author, right? I've published 3 books, 3 or 4 books right now. My last book is not in book version paperback, but it is in PDF form, Attracting What and Who You Desire. It's 11 chapters taking you from the beginning of that process to the end of that process. And it has very good helpful exercises at the end of each chapter that is definitely going to help you. Be serious about your life. Invest in yourself. It is a short read. It's 130 pages, which is the equivalent to 11. Ashe, 11 is one of my favorite frequencies and numbers, right? And so I open it up right now. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. This is why I am here. Give me one moment, TikTok. Okay, my loves, here on YouTube. This is all things self-mastery podcast and show. We just got finished discussing breaking emotional addictions. I hope you found the information helpful and are able to apply it. Until next time, peace and infinite gratitude and abundance of all things you want, need, and or desire. Okay, so